G'day folks, this is the little update video as promised to really focus on how the micro switches that are built into the loco end of the yard on the sliding yard in Newmarket yard, how they actually protect the ends of the roads once the roads are exposed by the board sliding away. Before we get into that though, a couple of refinements. This is a refinement of the part of the yard where the handles are. I found that what I was doing was, as I'd pull the handles in, I was putting my thumbs there to brace myself to push the board. So instead of pushing against the paint all the time, I thought I'd put a couple of foam pads. That's actually a cut down mouse mat mounted with some double-sided tape. So that's one innovation. The next one is for a retaining clip for the handheld controller. I've been sort of sitting it down on the tracks and on the floor and all over the place lately, and it really needs a way of clipping it on. So what I've done is I've used a standard old bulldog clip here with a screw that is normally used for securing sheet metal. So it's got a nice big flat head on it, and all you have to do is bring the controller over to it, push it, just sit it there. Bingo, job done. Now, for the purposes of this demo, to prove how this system works, what I'll do is put power onto these 6 sidings here. So we'll have the switches on and the release rode's already on. Now, to start with, the release rode is the one that's in position. So you've got a straight through release rode. This is the release siding, I suppose you could call it, the loco end, and it runs straight through. These roads are always clear. Now what I'll do is apply power to the controller, put it about halfway, or maybe a bit further, and leave that set. Now whilst that's set, what I will do is move the yard so that it lines up with one of the sidings, and we'll start here with this one and you'll see what happens. Right, we've got 6 locos here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At the moment they're all exposed. They could run off the end if they had power. Remembering, the power is on, the direction is set to run that way, yet nothing is happening. So what I'll do now is move the sliding yard to the first one, release the handles, and away it goes. Now I'll remove each loco as it shoots off, so we don't have any massive pile up at the end of the road there. But I'll move the next one now. And again. And again. Etc. Etc. Right, the other safeguard built into this system is the power for the rear switch. If the rear switch happened to be on and the yard engaged, nothing would happen. However, if you didn't realise that the rear switch was on and then you hit the front switch, well, both locos will then pull away together hopefully, and there won't be too much of a bang when it happens. So what we'll do is we'll turn power off to the front of the yard, and I'll turn the power on the controller. There's plenty of power there, direction set, and then we'll engage the yard, and then I'll come back and hit the switch for the front part. I'll hit this switch, so just bear with me. Okay, I'll engage the yard. Now I'll come back and hit the toggle switch for the front yard. Well, I think that's better than an almighty shunt up the rear end. Also, while we're here, there's a view of the buffers. You've all seen this before, but it doesn't matter. I've got a couple of trains in the yard. Nothing serious yet. Still doing a lot of testing. And this is the back of the panel. The wiring's done for the switches, but the LEDs still need to go in. And the wiring here for the loco yards all passes down through a hole under the baseboard. This mess here is common wires coming in, and you can see the micro switches are all wired up. One thing you might notice is that this one here on the end, there's no micro switch. I actually had one there and pulled it off again, but it's not necessary. That's for the release road. The release road is never exposed, so it's not necessary to have a micro switch for it. Actually, it would work in the opposite way to what I want anyway, so it's not necessary. So there you go, folks. That's where we're at. Cheers, gourmet.